course I am. Why wouldn't I be? I mean, why be nice? What good did that get me? I
Oh
was nice
God.
to everybody. Still ended up here.
Yeah, right. Boy, if that isn't the truth. God,
I
that
mean,
is
for
true.
real. For
I have
I
spent
could go back and I'd be like, I would take back so much energy from that person and
yeah,
that person.
yeah. No, that is so true. I mean,
Mhm.
I I spent my life being amazing to people and here I am alone and
Right,
you know.
dude.
There you
Hang on.
sit, shit
Did you
faced,
put more
Phoenix,
makeup on?
alone.
Did you put
Yeah.
more
I
makeup on?
tried. I
You still
tried.
don't look younger.
Ah, ha, 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 ha. Neither
What,
do your balls.
dude? You want to see him right now?
Nope.
I got overalls. I have to like do some work, but I can
Oh my
show them.
God.
Funny enough, I already know that they're old and saggy. Kenny,
Oh,
oddly enough. Oddly
Yep,
enough.
that's okay. That's how you got that black eye. Was my right nut swung in your face? Ugh. What's up, Paris? Paris is here.
What do you tell a Kenny with two black eyes? Nothing. You done told that bitch twice.
oh.
Right.
I've heard that joke and it doesn't it's not what do you
I know.
tell Kenny with two okay,
Yeah.
just so
Right.
you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like the joke. I love the joke
I
the
will
other
say. I
way
will say this.
Yeah.
because
That
it's true.
can
Sorry.
I changed my mind. Why don't you go put on the purple thing again, the unicorn thing, and then come back? I know it's a onesie,
What
but like
has what has 20 arms and legs and can't walk?
Okay, say that again.
20 arms and legs and
What has
can't walk.
20 and can't walk?
20
Jeffrey
arms
Dahmer's
and
refrigerator.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, dude, you bring in that on Halloween. And with that, everybody, yes, we are live. AD, what's and he turns back out. D Potter, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
can I respond to that joke?
Yeah.
I don't know if we should.
I live in Wisconsin. I live in Milwaukee.
Yeah. You guys sell used refrigerators cheap over there?
And it is against the law here to go as Jeffrey Dahmer
Really?
for Halloween.
On
Yes.
Halloween?
Yeah. Yeah, you
Wow.
can't get in anywhere. They won't let you into bars. They won't let you
Wow.
in anywhere. Yeah. I won't say it's against the law, but
What's up, Martin?
it's,
What's
if
that?
you go to a bar and you're Jeffrey Dahmer, they will not let you in. Sorry, you got to go.
That is funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
Thank
hey,
you.
well, you know what I'll
Thank
tell
you,
him?
Ari. I
You know what I'll tell him?
appreciate that.
You're mistaken. I am not Jeffrey Dahmer. I am Ted Bundy.
Oh.
Yeah,
Not that that'll make
you
it
got
any
you got a
better.
compliment from a girl over here, so I should announce the compliment from the girl. Ari says, "Gotta say, D, you looking sexy." Rawr.
Oh, thank you, Ari. She loves me.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be a cowgirl. That is what that's what I bought this for. I have a hat, but I can't fit it on my head because of my headphones. So I just changed it to white trash.
Can I just say, it doesn't even have to be white trash. It's just you and blue. There you go.
Like a Smurf.
Am I blue?
Dude.
I like both of you guys. I love Daniel's
I don't know, man.
Black Eyed Peas, and I love yours, Kitty, being a redneck. Oh my gosh.
I walked out and my wife looked at me and I said, "What? Do I look stupid?" And she said, "Yeah, if that's what you're aiming for, you achieve." I was like, "What?
Good.
Wow, thanks."
I like Daniel's
Paris boobs, yes.
When
we like
I
boobs.
came back here in the bedroom and did this eye makeup and did this with a shirt, and I walked back in the living room and Jocelyn was reading. She looked up and immediately started cackling. I said, "Success."
Oh
Yeah.
man. Well, happy
Wow.
Halloween to both of you guys.
Happy Halloween to you guys.
Hey, how about a Halloween shot?
Oh damn, we just did one. We got to do another.
Yeah,
They don't
this
know
bottle-
that.
This bottle
They don't-
still has
they
this
don't know
bottle
that.
still has some in it. I got to get the new one out.
I'm gonna be passed out before we even get 10 minutes in.
Yay! Hey,
Well, good.
that'll
We
fit
wanted
right
to end
with-
early tonight anyway.
that'll fit right with the white trash.
Hell yeah.
Deal.
Right.
Here we go.
Ankles up by 10.
No
Cheers.
doubt. Oh my god.
At least it's not the
Damn.
bathroom floor with a red-headed dude trying to punch you with a broom under a door.
I was gonna say getting poked with a broomstick.
Dude, what the hell?
I will say though that last week when I was getting this together, I took pictures. I sent it to Red. I sent it to Pears. Red suggested, since I have turquoise earrings in, that I get a turquoise necklace and a turquoise bracelet. And this is my ode to struggled Jennings.
There you go.
Awesome.
You got your turquoise on.
Yeah.
Ari, I'm a black-eyed pea.
Right.
Black-eyed pea.
Oh, God.
You snorted. That was awesome.
I did. I'm sorry.
My wife hates when I catch her when she does that. I'm like, you snorted.
I know. I
She's
did
like,
too.
shut up.
I know. I did too.
Oh God. All right. So I got a question.
Okay. I have an answer.
I have a pee.
When you were a kid, what was your coolest costume you ever had? And what was your worst costume you ever went as?
I know the answer to both of those. Go ahead.
Go for it.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Okay. My worst costume, and it was probably my best costume, but for Halloween, one year I was like, fuck. I was still in elementary, so we're guessing.
Be a fuck.
You were a fuck for Halloween?
It's worse. It's worse. It's worse.
Oh Lord.
The play was the night before Halloween, and it just so happened that was the night the neighborhood was trick-or-treating too. I had to be fucking Raggedy Andy for a fucking play.
Damn.
There's a picture of this that exists. I had to do Raggedy Andy. So that was, my mom went all out to make me Raggedy Andy. So that's actually probably my best costume. But my worst, because I look stupid in it. Now, I think my best one, I almost scared this woman to fucking death. The rage this one particular year was you'd have a cape and some shit like that, but you had this big inflatable alien or monster head or thing that was on your head. Well, I did that one. And I had the big, it was like a big black octopus head on my head, right? And like the third house I knocked on was this old woman. This old woman, right? And she thought Satan had done sent the Cthulhu demon straight to her doorstep. That bitch opened that door and saw that big fucking head sitting up there, and she was like, ah! I mean, I thought the woman was going to die. I thought she was going to have a heart attack and die right there, for real. So in my guesstimation, that's my best one because it fucks some, cardiac arrest. Fuck, how do you argue with that?
Right? I mean, that's pretty good at that point in time.
How do you argue with
that?
I mean, it's Halloween. If shock value is what you're going for,
yeah,
that's a winner.
You always look like a hooker at Halloween or just all the time. Wait a minute. I saw the comment. We're going there. Paris brought it up, not me.
What did she say?
She says, Martin says, y'all look fine to me. She says, Paris says, I always look like a hooker. Not the ones in our neighborhood, trust me.
No, you probably got far more teeth than that.
Oh yeah, it's true. Oh my God, that's true.
My God.
Yeah.
That's as funny as that joke is. That do you remember back when HBO was doing that the Real Sex series? Well, that spawned a lot of offshoots, one of which was this documentary they did, and they could have named it something different, but they called it Hookers on the Point. And it was they followed this particular group of hookers on this particular street corner in this city for like 6 months.
Raina,
and this one woman she was only 22 years old and she had dentures. But the reason she did was because her particular clientele didn't like teeth. So she had all her teeth removed. So whenever they went to take care of their business, she could take her teeth out and do the damn thing. And that was her clientele. That's how she made her money. Was
far for your job.
Gum and dick.
That is a lie. I am calling B6 on that.
Go look up the documentary Hookers on the Point. I promise you that is not bullshit.
Oh, good Lord.
There is a whole fetish for that, D. It's not just that hooker. There's a fetish for fucking and licking armpits.
I know.
You're surprised about teeth?
Right, Raina? Look, Raina asked, what did she walk into? Okay, we're going to go back to you. Okay, D,
who knows?
Your best costume and your worst costume ever as a child.
I'm still thinking about the woman with no teeth. Okay, sorry.
I I didn't mean to challenge your belief system. She was just a prostitute. It's not worth all that damage.
Here's the thing: when I think of hooker, I think Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman.
That is not a hooker.
I know. Okay, so anyway, to answer Kenny's question, let's go back. Kenny was gracious enough to steer us back. Okay, so I was not allowed growing up. I was not allowed to be a witch, a ghost, anything like that.
Right.
And really, I had to come up with my own shit. So one year I did gypsy. That was probably my best. I did a gypsy. And that was cool because I went in and got my mom's jewelry out, And my worst would have to be when I was in kindergarten. My mom bought me a Frankenstein mask.
Ooh.
But a girl can't be Frankenstein.
Well, I mean, they can, but
she can be the bride of Frankenstein.
You tend to not get dates.
Hey, wait a minute.
Thank you. See, they were setting me up for life, Kenny. They were setting me up for life. No dates for this girl.
Don't we live in a society now where a woman can be whatever the fuck she wants to be? She can even be a he.
Listen, okay,
Daniel, we're not going to get on that soapbox.
Do not get me on the kitty litter in the fucking classroom.
Yeah, we're not going to get on that soapbox.
I will.
Kenny, what was your favorite and least favorite?
My dumbest costume that I ever did. My grandma. Oh my God bless her. Okay,
bless her heart.
She dressed me up as a cowboy in some shit she sewed. And it was like gold satin and shit, like real bad. Like, and my sister looks like in the picture. My sister looks like she's from Little House on the Prairie. My grandma made these outfits for us and sent us out like this. You want to know the scary thing is? She didn't just send us out for Halloween. She actually made the outfits for us for Easter and then made us wear them on Halloween. Yes. Okay. Now, my coolest outfit ever, I was like this fucking scary ass wolf. And the reason why it was the coolest one ever was because I put my outfit on and then I walked outside and my daughter lost her shit. Like she chucked her Wii controller at me.
Oh, damn.
I'm like, this is going to work so well. We're keeping the majority of the candy tonight.
Wow.
But, I mean, if you don't terrify a kid in your costume, as an adult, what are you doing wrong, So.
I mean, look, you want to see something fucking scary? Go back and look at Halloween costumes that say the turn of the 19th into the 20th century, what Halloween costumes look like then.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, back then they had barbers doing dental work. Stop it. Yeah. Okay?
Right.
I mean, everything was
some of that shit is like it is terrifying, like the shit from Nightmares. But if you ever look at the original Mickey Mouse Club, the little Mickey Mouse masks that they made, there's a picture I've seen on every year around Halloween. They post this meme on Facebook, and it's a picture of an auditorium full of kids wearing that mask, and it is absolutely the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, it's terrifying.
It is. It is creepy.
When you're a kid, though, you don't realize how creepy it is. I mean,
I don't know. I think I'd have realized how creepy that was.
I don't know, man. Like,
I don't know.
Maybe, but there's a lot of people now who want to protect their kids from the shit we went through. Like they're like, don't drink out of the hose. That's why we live this long,
right? All this. Dude, God, I'm from the country, man. You know what your vaccine was? Playing in the goddamn dirt.
Yes. Okay, can I just say something real quick here?
Getting dirty, swimming in the creeks, all that shit. Your body builds its own immunities, man.
Okay, I want to ask this question.
People are terrified to let their kids get dirty now.
I know. I want to ask this question. Did you guys, when you were little, go to chickenpox parties?
It wasn't even a party. They just didn't kick the kid out of school. Everybody got it in class.
Oh, see,
like the kid came to school with speckles all over him, and they let the kid stay for the day. And then the teachers got like a week off. They loved us.
Maybe this is me being a hick from Iowa. But when one kid broke out with the chicken pox, everybody went over to their house. And you got exposed, and then you got it, and you lived on. Exactly.
Right? You went ahead and got
that sounds like my first crack date. You went, you got exposed, and then you liked it, and you got it. Boy.
Oh my God! Oh, I snorted again.
Oh.
Okay, so
a shot of penicillin, that crap will be all right in about 10 days. There.
That was Rommel, wasn't it?
Dude, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know about the penicillin. My dog's gonna have to be on like 75 things tomorrow. You got an ear infection and all this other shit. And I was like, I want to be like my grandma and just like wipe my dog down and be like, he's cool. And then I realized my grandma wasn't cool when she just wiped me down and said that won't get infected. That's why my fucking arm was fucked up for 3 weeks, Grandma.
But if you think about the way we grew up, not that it was bad.
It wasn't.
But how in the hell did we make it to adulthood?
Because they raised us that way.
Yeah,
I was convinced that I wouldn't make it my damn self.
I knew all I had to do was survive till I was 18 and then get the hell out of there. Right? Like, and then I got out of there and I'm like, that's not as bad as I thought it was.
Okay, so
I'm just not getting yelled at. I'm still in trouble, but I'm not getting yelled at.
So my kids are appalled. And when I say appalled, I mean appalled that, number one, we didn't wear seatbelts in the car.
There weren't seatbelts in half the car.
No, there weren't. Number two, my mom and dad let me climb up in the back window. Right. Do you remember that? Did you do that?
My grandma would tell me and my sister to lay down in the back seat of her 72 Chevelle and go to sleep.
Yes.
Right.
But I would climb up in the back window of our car and lay there.
You were a little one.
Well, no, because we had big car. We had a 76 Mercury Marquis.
Oh, that had a huge
thing. Yeah.
Land yacht.
Yeah.
I mean,
But then your friend, like my best friend Josie, her family had a station wagon, and not only was it a station wagon, but it had a couch in the back of it. Remember the seats that they had in the back of the station wagon? They were like couches, and we'd hang out the back window. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Let me tell you something I've done, and I did this as like an 8-year-old. Be riding around, and this is with a church youth group at a lock-in. We're actually supposed to be at the church, and we're riding around, and kids are, the older kids are making out in back seats and shit. And what us younger kids did for fun, we'd be fucking speeding them down the highway and get lane to lane and fucking jump back and forth between cars.
What were you doing, playing Frogger?
Yeah, on the freeway, on the road. I got all right, let me see how quick I can make this.
Daniel.
I'm gonna try and do this version in under 30 seconds. Right?
We were ignorant around here. We were so deep in the. I mean, there was no. I mean, all the kids out in town had cable and all that kind of bullshit.
That's true. Yeah,
we had some back roads and horses.
You
create your own fun out here.
Yeah, you did.
You want to hear my church trip story in 30 seconds or less? Here we go.
Go. I'm timing you.
I got sent to Baja, California with our youth group to talk to people about Jesus. My boy Mikey went with me. He's the same age. We walked into the liquor store in there and put $1 down, and they put 4 Coronas in a paper bag. We were 13. We found heaven. Okay, so we were going to preach about heaven. And instead, we bought a bunch of fireworks and smuggled them back. Okay, don't ask me about that. It is what it is. Later on, I'm home. Me and Mikey are lighting fireworks off, and it burns the neighbor's house down on the corner because it landed on their roof with pine needles on a wood shake roof. At the end of the whole shit, the neighbor called the cops on us, told on us. My grandma came, had to take us to the police station. We got let go somehow, and then we went home, and I told my grandma, this is God's fault. And she says, what? And I said, you told me to go to fucking Mexico to preach about God. And if we didn't have to talk about God, we would have never burned down that fucking house in the first place.
Look, man, I grew up in the Pinnacle, man. I grew up in a Southern Baptist church. Was in it every Wednesday night, Sunday morning, and Sunday night. Now, with that said,
facts, Damon.
This is probably one of the more terrible pranks I've ever pulled, too. To make sure we were learning, every few months or so, because they had us doing Bible drills, man. If they, you know what I'm saying, you had to be able to find any scripture, anytime, for any reason. And believe it or not, I love fucking with people that think they're religious and they'll quote something from the Bible, and I'm like, that's not what that says.
Yeah.
Well, who are you? And I'm like, it says this. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, look it up. Don't take my word for it. But I mean, I used to know. All right, my point being, I was the Bible drill king in my church.
No, I would have kicked your ass. Sorry.
I
would have kicked your ass.
Okay. Well, there I was. Anyway, there was this old woman, and her name was Betty. I won't give her last name, but that had been her title around there for a long time. And she was the one that was always trying to show up the kids and show us what we don't know. And you're going to burn in hell because you don't know your fucking scriptures. So we decided as a youth group one time, and it was always youth versus the older members, to throw the competition, because the loser of said competition had to get together and bake the winner a chocolate cake. Okay. We baked them a chocolate cake with about 4 boxes of X-Lax in it.
Oh, hell yeah.
That is one of the most beautiful things to watch. Knowing there's only one bathroom in the church, watching about 16, 17 really old motherfuckers break and run for the same bathroom. We're talking broken hips. We're talking all kind of motherfuckers fighting to get to that bathroom. Needless to say,
I would have been running people over with my wheelchair. Get out of the way.
I was informed that I was going straight to hell. I was not going to pass go. I was not going to collect $200. That was the end of it.
I'm not going to be mad at
Night
roll. I'm not going to be mad at my grandma being, where she was from and her background, her religious background, to send me to church. It is what it is, right? That's her thing. I recovered. I'm cool, right? But I got to tell you, the funniest story about church has to do with hell, right? And it was me telling my grandma that we needed to go see my grandma and Grandpa Johnson and convert them to be Baptists, because the minister just said that if they weren't Baptists, they were going to hell if they drank or if they smoked or if they danced. And my grandparents were Lutheran and they drank, so we needed to go over and save them from hell. And my grandma just looked at me and goes, and she realized that my innocence took what they were saying, and that's where my innocence at like 10 years old went. Like, nowadays I figure it this way.
There's nothing like being told you're going to burn in hell for drinking by an old lady with whiskey breath.
Dude, we were told we were going blind if we spanked it.
No, you
The worst
didn't.
that happened to you is you got a black eye.
Wait. Hold on.
What?
You said spank it?
Yeah.
Are we talking about
the deed? Yeah. We'll go blind. We'll get hair on our palms.
Choking the chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Strangling the trouser snake.
The difference was we did it man-powered and women used battery-powered.
Basting the turkey.
So how are we going to hell? Basting the turkey?
Smacking the dong.
I got it. I understand. Got it.
Look, we had this. They threw this. And the relationship in our church between the youth and the older members, and that church is. I can throw a rock from my house and hit it right now, and they've got about 7 people that show up on Sundays. Exactly what I said was going to come to pass. They were so awful to their young people. I was like, and I was actually part of an undefeated co-ed team for that church for years, and because that preacher was doing stuff with the youth, they ran him off. So they shut all that shit down. And my last day in that church, actually not, I'll tell you about my next day in that church.
Actually,
but my last day is I was turning 18, and I had actually been coaching the younger team. And I flat told them, I got up in front of the church and told them, if you keep like, for example, because I live close, if anything ever wound up vandalized or stolen from the church, it must be me. Everybody in the neighborhood knew which kid was doing it. But because I live close, it was me, and I was punished as such. And I was like, if you keep doing this with your young people, you're not going to have any young people.
Yeah.
Well, for an example, we thought this was a big peace offering. We busted our tails as young kids to help raise the money to build a gym and a fellowship hall. And then for the next 3 years, the kids weren't even allowed in the gym to play basketball. And they finally let us in the gym to have this Valentine's dance. And what the Valentine's dance consisted of they set us all down, they fed us full of cake, and then you're going to hell. Y'all are thinking about fornicating. Y'all are blah, 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 and we're like, I just came for the cake, bro. I'm not trying to fucking,
Right. So we're gonna go. We're gonna redirect with a hit, a bowl, or a beer, and then we're gonna go on to my least favorite suggested topic: your favorite horror movies.
Oh, I need my wife for that.
Hold on.
I got one for you though. What
are we doing? What are we doing? Shots or
everything?
Or what are we doing?
I'm doing it all.
Everything.
A 3 for 1.
Y'all are going to look up and my feet are going to be in the air.
Listen, if your feet are up in the air, do we measure the depth of that thing again and see if it's still 2.5?
Well, I don't know how you do that, but okay.
Hey,
yeah, sure.
We don't need to test the depth. That motherfucker sank the Titanic. What you talking about?
Right? If you know, you know. And if you don't, you'll find out later in the Discord.
Deep cavernous. Hold on, I'm getting there.
Deep cavernous?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were there.
Deep cavernous? Bro, I like that. I like that. Hey, change your name.
Cheers, guys.
Deep caverns.
Her ankle's got to go up first.
Oh, man.
If my ankles go up, you better call 911.
Bro, if my ankles go up, don't call anybody.
Wait,
you know what?
Just leave me there. Just leave me there like that.
I just saw my shot thing, and I hardly have any left. And we're what into the
that first off, that's ass shot. There shouldn't be any left after the first one. Secondly, you said for me to call 911. Now wait a minute. Now here's this 911 call. 911. What is your emergency? Yeah, I'm on a what is this shit Restream, and I'm talking to this chick in Wisconsin somewhere, and bitch's ankles just went behind her head.
To fucking ankles. Like
she's dressed as white trash, and her ankles went behind her head.
White trash, and she's somewhere near something with a lake effect. All right, go find her.
Just so you know, Red has my address. So
there you go.
Just so you know. Okay,
she prefers firemen, paramedics to police paramedics, and mouth to mouth is required.
And she hopes when the paramedics are there that they're there with a special guest, and she's struggling to breathe.
Yeah, and the fireman gets there. The fireman gets there. He does the mouth to mouth, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, her ankles are up again.
Right?
Jesus. And we're back.
We made full circle. Okay, back to scary movies. Now that we got the ankles up, somehow I'm supposed to keep track of time. I'm worried we're gonna get blocked.
No, we need one more hour. You know what? This really went wrong. I don't know where it went wrong.
It went wrong because we didn't drink enough.
Speak for yourself.
Speak for yourself. Holy shit, I'm about ready to pass out.
You need to drink more until we do, and we can end it and not get blocked.
Now, see, Kenny, you got to remember, D is good people. D has joined our community and been great and been a great addition to our community. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that she's used to playing this game quite as hard as we do just yet.
Well, I've recommended to people because we've heard some messages back in Discord about people trying to keep up with darts. I'm just saying, don't pick 17 as your dart number and then take shots if you're not a heavy drinker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Take a sip. Take a sip of your seltzer, your hard seltzer, or your Truly, or whatever. And
for people that are new to that game, we usually try to tell them not shots.
Yeah.
Just last live stream, somebody was like, shots, and I was like, we were like, no.
Yeah.
No, you don't play darts with us and taking shots. That's a recipe for alcohol poisoning.
But here's the thing. It doesn't matter what number you choose, because I'm here to tell you, Daniel and Jocelyn, they're in it together. And you put your number in that you want. Jocelyn reads it to Daniel, the numbers.
Yep.
I am convinced, I could totally be wrong, but I don't think I am. I am convinced that he looks, who's got 17? Oh, Rommel's got 17. Okay. Triple 17. Triple 17.
It's always Mitch.
He does it on purpose.
It's always Mitch.
No, he picks the people that he wants to get drunk What's their number?
You want
And then
to
he
you,
stands
you
there
want to know what's
purposely
funny?
and does it.
The first
Purposely.
the first time I picked a number,
I'm just saying.
I had been watching them play darts for months. And the very first time I picked a number, I picked 1 because they hadn't hit a single
That's
fucking
me.
1 the
Yes,
entire
that
time.
is me.
Right?
That is me.
Because
Oh
I'm
my
like, I
God,
want to
that's
stick
me.
around until like midnight or
Yes.
1 until this thing
Yes.
ends, you know, my time. But like,
And
I
then
was like,
Daniel's like, oh, Kenny picked 1? Okay.
1,
Triple 1.
1, 1,
Well,
Triple
1.
1.
before
Bullseye.
we moved back down here to my hometown, Jocelyn and I were pretty avid dart throwers. So it was, you know,
I know.
it's not a new concept. Now, the funny thing
Right.
is about 17, and one of the reasons Mitchell stayed on 17 is
Yeah.
you can
Mitch
blindfold
can
me and I can be asleep, and just my
Yeah.
natural throwing motion
Daniel,
is going to hit a
Daniel,
17.
Madam Red just said Rommel is the backboard, Mitch is 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If we
That's true.
if we hit the wood around the
Yeah.
Rommel,
That's the
darts,
Rommel.
that's
Yep.
Rommel.
Yeah.
And Caleb was the floor. Like if one, because like the other day I threw a bullseye.
Yeah,
It would have been a bullseye,
Damn.
but that last inside
It
metal
did.
ring, it hit that and bounced off, hit the floor. That's Caleb.
Yeah,
But
it did.
Caleb hadn't been around in a while.
Hey, question. Did you guys ever find the tag from Jocelyn's dart that she threw?
No, that motherfucker is GONE gone. There are backups in that dart
That's
set.
weird.
That
She
her
lost
dog
the
sent us.
flight?
There are
She lost
backups.
the
She
flight?
did.
And
She
it is
did. And it was nowhere.
gone.
They were tearing the room apart.
It is gone.
Dude, that's
It
We
was
have-
weird.
Hey, that's,
Now,
hey,
we have
that's
some
better than
former,
what I got.
like-
all my darts are missing. I put
See,
them
these
away.
are some of my old competition darts. We have
Uh-huh.
extra
Yeah.
flights from these, and the set that M Dog sent us has extras in it, but
Oh.
they're different looking. So she's gonna have one oddball, but
I
no, man, that thing is gone.
Daniel,
It's
you'll
gone.
That was weird.
you'll laugh at this, Daniel. I was looking for my darts the other day, right? I got a competition board in my son's room. I can bring it in here. I got steel tip. I'm ready to go. We'll throw darts. You know, I don't care, whatever. Put them wherever I can
Right.
throw them, right? And I can't find them. I knew I got this black zipper case that held 2 sets of darts because my wife's darts were in there and my darts were in there, and I couldn't find
Right.
it. And they'll tell you this guy's looking for it like crazy. And I come back and I go, oh, I think I found it, because I found this zipper bag, and I'm like, here we go. I got my darts, and then I'm like, son of a bitch, I forgot I owned harmonicas.
What the
I still
hell?
can't find my darts, and I realized I own a set of
Oh my
Close
God.
fucking Fender harmonicas.
Oh my God.
You ever I mean, you've watched Pro Pool, I'm sure, or Pro Billiards.
Uh-huh.
And I've watched some sharks in real life, and at one time I would have put myself in that conversation. Jocelyn has seen me shoot when I really mean to shoot. I'm out of practice now, but with darts, it was that same kind of thing. When we first started, we went to this guy named Delahousie. We went to his house, and that was the thing on Saturday nights. Man, they were throwing darts, and you what in the fuck? What just happened?
Dude, the flight that she lost finally came
Anyway,
back. Tell me the flight
fell
came
on me.
back.
What the hell
No.
was that?
But we walk in and you walk in the door and there's a motherfucker. As you're walking in the doorway, he's staring at you, throwing bullseyes. And we're like,
He was
what?
throwing bullseyes, or you were?
He was watching us walk in the door. He wasn't even looking, man. That's the group we walked
No,
into
they
when
don't.
Jocelyn and I first started really throwing darts. And it was man, you had to get good around that group because they threw darts. They gambled with drinks. They didn't gamble with money. They gambled with drinks. And if you wanted to stand long, you had to start getting accurate real fast because they weren't them folks. That it was there was 2 Delahousies, which that's a famous family around the Mississippi Delta.
Okay.
The one we were hanging out with was Andy, and his older brother's name was Tommy. And
Tommy and Andy Delahousie. Wait, that's a
father.
Southern name.
Right. But everybody in the Delta, most of the like older families in the Delta are old Italian families. There was the Rizzos, the Delahousies, the ones that owned all the bars were the oh my God. And one of them, this was the one, this almost ruined our band. Damn it, it's right there. It's not Farinelli, that was the trailer park guy.
That was the white trash guy.
Name? Right. But anyway, he oh God, if any of his people ever see this, they're gonna burn me to the ground. He died going home from one of our gigs. He used to come whenever we were playing in Cleveland or Greenville. He would always come see our gigs, and he would come up there and tip us to play She Fucking Hates Me. And he died one night on the way home from one of our gigs at a place in Cleveland. And we played a big tribute show. We played a big tribute. There was the Roncollies. Why can I not remember that family's name, though? All of a sudden, I'm just drawing a blank. Oh, my God. Drake would roll over in his grave and punch me in the mouth.
Oh, damn.
Fuck.
All right. Madam recommends that we go back to the subject of favorite horror movies.
Yes, we got way off. She's right.
That's so cliche.
Right.
I'm going to lick my cup.
What's in it?
That sounds like a personal issue.
Pussy.
Oh.
Damn.
Okay.
You need a minute?
We went right there, right? We need to turn your camera off. You need a private moment.
We got him right here. Listen, okay. So when he's done licking this pussy, we'll bring him right back. Damn, they call you Minuteman for a reason. I see how quick that was. Okay, whatever.
Hey, dude, there was a dude up at work, dude, and
Red's gonna kill us.
Me in a while. He hadn't seen me in a while, and I had put on a little weight. He saw me before when I was in the gym and I was all shredded. Then he saw me later, and he's like, "Hey, dude, man, looks like you're putting on a little bit of gut there, bro." And I said, "Man, don't you know eating pussy's fattening?"
Right. Damn. See, Red, I'm trying.
Got to get them calories.
We got to get back to
favorite.
Red's gonna kill us.
Okay, yeah. let's talk about Halloweeny shit.
Yes.
He was just
Red's gonna kill us.
Talking about pussy shit, not Halloweeny.
Isn't that a dog? Isn't there like a Tim Burton animated movie called Halloween?
Daniel.
About the little dog.
Daniel.
It's a horror movie. I'm trying.
No, it's not.
No, for real. It is. It's a horror inspired animated film.
Really?
It's the same little dog from the Igor movie. And he got it Frankenweenie. It's Frankenweenie. That's it. My daughters could tell you. I'm not lying. Google it right now. Frankenweenie.
Dude, I don't want that in my search history, and I don't want to know what's going to show up in my Facebook feed if I type it up.
I'm not.
I do not want that in my search history.
Right? What to feed Jesse noted.
Serious.
Okay.
It's kind of by the same studio also that did the Night Before.
Oh, that's Tim Burton.
The Nightmare Before.
Yeah.
Right. It's
I don't
out
like
of the Tim Burton family. And it's called Frankenweenie. I'm not making this shit up.
I'm just gonna change the subject here. My favorite horror movie, and I will say this is the one that impacted me the most, is Pet Sematary.
Damn,
that's my wife's favorite.
And the reason is because we had a cat that looked just like that cat in that movie. His name was Muffy.
Right.
And
Muffy.
You had a pussy named Muffy.
That's what I was just going to say.
Right. Sorry, guys. We're on the
that
Clee
was
show.
not.
We're on
that
the
was
Clee
not by accident.
Show tonight. So.
You probably didn't realize that as a kid.
Oh hell no! Oh
right?
Hell no! You know how I grew up. You know I didn't realize that. Oh Lord.
That was not by accident.
Well,
whoever named that cat.
It was. I think it was my mom actually. I think it was my mom actually. Now that I think about it. But anyway, yes, that movie really it traumatized me. It did. Right.
I don't like horror movies. I don't like them. I don't like scary movies.
So are you sticking with Frankenweenie?
No. I'm funny enough. I've had enough weird shit happen to me in my life. I don't tend to watch them as much as my wife because I don't need to be reminded of some of the experiences I've had in my own life. I don't need to be reminded that shit's out there. It's like on the ID channel. That's 24/7 serial killer. My wife got addicted to watching that, and she's like, "You want to watch this?" I'm like, "No, I'm trying to raise daughters. I don't need to know that there's that many sickos in the world. I will fucking lose my mind."
Sometimes you just need to walk away from that stuff.
But I have three. There's three. Okay. One was Nightmare on Elm Street because to me, out of all these all these horror movie villains, he's the guy that I mean, they didn't have to create no crazy scenario for him to come back. Somebody just had to dream about it. Two was a movie. It was a made-for-TV movie called The Changeling. It was about this old man. He's living in this house and it's haunted and shit's starting to happen. And he finds out that he actually isn't who he thinks he is. He was an orphan. That got brought the actual boy that he grew. I mean, he thinks, or the man that he thinks he is, died as a boy from drowning. And this family literally went and got an orphan that looked like him and brought him home and raised him as if he was that boy.
I'm like you.
And the ghost of that boy knows the old man's dying and starts fucking with him.
Oh, come on.
That one was actually fucked up.
Yeah.
But the if you want to be scarred for fucking life, go watch Phantasm. That's an early 80s. Yep. It's kind of a B cheesy horror movie, but that is the most fucked up shit you will ever watch in your. Yes, it is fucked up.
For me, there, like, I don't do horror movies. I've seen enough graphic, gross shit in my life. I don't need to see it happen on a screen to flash me back to those times. But Nightmare on Elm Street fucked me up because when Nightmare on Elm Street came out, if y'all remember the Hillside Strangler, Richard Ramirez, he was in our hood. Yep. At that point in time, like killing motherfuckers, right? And they caught him in the town just north of us, and he went to the wrong hood, because if he would have been in the other one, it was all white people. They would have, like, probably not confronted him, but he went to the hood, and they caught his ass trying to climb through a window and beat the living, like he was begging the cops to help him when they got there, right? But that movie, when that came out, he hadn't been caught yet. Right. And I'll tell you, I had metal screens on my window and a big ass bush outside, and the wind would blow and the leaves would rub on the metal screen on my window, and there was a street light across the street that would shadow, so it sounded like some shit was trying to cut through my screen. My grandma, after we were supposed to go see another movie, but we snuck into Nightmare on Elm Street. Right. And my grandma afterwards said she found me, like, multiple times. She would come in and, like, go to make my bed and find a big ass, like, kitchen knife big ass kitchen knife underneath my pillow. Like, I was ready for that fucker to come through the window. The second worst horror movie I ever saw was My First Divorce. And we won't talk about that because that's been banned.
Okay, I'm gonna change. And I'm gonna change my worst. My mom. Now you have to remember, this is a Bible thumping, Jesus believing woman. She made me at the age of 13. I was 13. Mm-hmm. She made me watch Psycho with her.
Dude, that just made me afraid of my aunt.
Who makes their child watch the movie Psycho?
Heath, you said you had 4 experiences. That was a Tuesday afternoon where I grew up.
Right.
That's one of the reasons I live, and some of y'all have heard me talk about how charged this particular area that I grew up in is. I used to bring college kids down here for tours.
Okay, can I explain?
I didn't like horror movies because it was like I'm already seeing that.
Explain something about what Daniel just said. This is why white people are always in horror films. Because I don't know anybody from the hood that's going to walk into an apartment and the shit's going to go, ow, and they're going to stay, right? They don't. They run, right?
That's a comedian, dude. I was just fixing to mention that.
But literally, dude.
Is it Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, literally, dude. White people want to go find that shit.
Yeah.
Like they do.
Hence the show Ghost Hunters.
Name a ghost hunter who isn't white. I don't know if you can. Ready? Let's go. All right, right? Because we do that shit. They're like,
I watch all those shows. I can't think of anybody.
You're talking on that, and you made me think of these. I've been watching these series of prank videos, and one they put like this little. Oh, you've seen Saw, right? That little doll. Mm-mm. They put it in this car, in this little chair, and there's people like walking through this. It's a park, and it's at night, and there's basketball courts and shit like that. And regardless of who it is, as they walk through there, they start to see it, and they're like, "Holy shit!" And they'll move it, so people will jump. Look, there was these 3 black dudes coming through there, and you talk about when that thing moves. Yeah. You talking about high step? Well, one of the 3 just fell out right there. The other 2 was assholes and elbows, man. And the other one that kills me every time I see it, they do this prank. It's a clown guy. And they do it in these parking garages and shit, and they'll wait for people to walk around the corner, and he'll have this carnage scene laid out.
Yes.
And he's got this big hammer like Gallagher.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It looks like he's smashing the head. Dude, when them black dudes come around that corner on that video, that dude didn't even bring the hammer down. They saw the clown and was gone.
Yeah.
They wasn't playing with that shit. They wasn't playing with that shit.
Well, there's some movie, and I can't remember.
My folk don't like that shit.
I can't remember which movie it is. It's a satire movie. And there's a part in there where they say, the brothers are always the first ones to get killed. And it's true. If you watch a horror movie, it's true, and that's sad.
It's the girl with big boobs first.
Yeah. And then it's the brothers. And then the white guy always survives. I don't know.
Right.
Well, that means that all of the ones with big boobs can survive.
Some dingy girl, dingy girl has to be stupid. Yeah. And have y'all seen that commercial? And this is so true about horror movies.
Right.
It's these 4 kids, and they're running, and as the commercial opens, they've just run into this open area, and they have a choice. They can get in their car and leave, or they can run to the shed with all the chainsaws. And they get there, and
I have seen that.
And the girl actually says, "Why can't we get in the running car?"
Right. Dude, okay.
Because people
are stupid. Listen, I am not.
Oh my God!
Right?
Yeah, I have seen that. One.
About that in the Deep Blue Sea, maybe Red.
What? Wait! You said pussy? What?
No, didn't LL Cool J say something about that in Deep Blue Sea?
Oh,
that's a good movie. Yes,
he did.
Because he's like, I need to get the fuck out of here. And they're like, why are you so frantic? And he's like, don't you know it's always the black guy?
It is.
Right.
It is.
And funny enough, you talk about Deep Blue Sea. I was just fixing to mention how jaded society has become to horror movies. Now you watch horror movies to pull for the bad guy.
Right.
I remember when motherfuckers were afraid to take a bath after watching Jaws, like the shark was going to get in their tub.
I was older before I saw Jaws, so I don't.
All right. You brought it up. What movie did you root for the bad guy?
Oh.
All the Elm Street movies. After the first one, I was always pulling for Freddy.
Does it have to be a horror movie?
No, it doesn't have to be horror. You were just totally rooting for the bad guy.
Boy, that's a hard question. I don't think I ever do because I am accused of having rose-colored glasses. No. And
okay.
And I always go for the good guy because I want the movie to end good. I want it to have a good resolution.
I'm a happy ending guy too. But there are some villains that just transcend, like the motherfucker.
My one that I rooted for the good guy, or for the bad guy, falling down.
I've never seen it.
I think I've
Michael, wasn't it Michael Douglas or whatever? He's the dude who loses his shit in LA and fucking goes around and just goes off on everybody. Like he beats the street gangers up. His life is chaotic. Like everything is falling down at that exact moment. And that one person was the person who broke the camel's back. And he literally just goes on a rampage. And I'm like, fuck, I hope he gets away with all this shit, right?
That is a hard question. Who asked that?
No, that's me that asked that.
Oh, you did? Damn, that was a good question, Kenny. That's a hard question to answer for me. I can't think of a movie where I rooted for the bad guy.
There's been a couple, and it's just because the bad guy had so much panache. And look, I'm a happy ending kind of guy too, but there is a line when sometimes in a few of these movies where the fucking good guy becomes too self-righteous, and there's just a certain panache on the bad guy. You're like, you know what? Kill them fucking all, dude. Kill them.
Let me say this. And maybe this is my psychology 101 kicking in. But let's look at The Room. 2 guys answered that question right away. And the woman is like, I don't know. You've always, do you think it's a sexist thing?
She's trying to say man bad's what she's trying to say, Kenny. Man bad.
No, I'm just thinking, is it a sexist thing where maybe women don't cheer for the bad guy? No. Or is it just me?
Jocelyn does.
No, because usually you wouldn't. In the case of falling down, the reason why I did was because I'll give you the quick little description of the movie, right? A middle-aged man dealing with both unemployment, he just got fired, and divorce. Michael Douglas is having a bad day when his car breaks down on a Los Angeles freeway, right? He leaves his vehicle and begins to trek across the city to attend his daughter's birthday party. As he makes his way through the urban landscape, William's frustration and bitterness becomes more evident, resulting in violent encounters with various people across, including vengeful gang members and everything else. Like, this is a dude who somebody in line fucking said some shit, and we've all been there. The person in line's talking some mad shit, and you want to slap the fuck out of him, right? And he basically gets to that breaking point where he starts doing that to people.
Okay,
and it is a phenomenal movie.
I know a movie where I pulled for the bad guy. Bad Santa.
What about for anybody who's either seen the movie or knows the story?
Make sure you watch the uncensored. And just in case you're wondering, if you ever do watch Bad Santa, it's fucking funny to start with, but you can watch the censored version, which is foul,
law-abiding,
or you can watch the director's cut uncensored version, which is even more foul. It's what's his fuck? Dude was married to Angelina. All of a sudden, his name just left me, just like that. No,
Billy Bob Thornton.
Way before him, Thornton. And he's like, and what it is him and this dwarf guy, the same one from Me, Myself, and Irene, actually. Right. They fucking I don't give a fuck. Fuck that shit. If you're little and you know it, clap your goddamn hands. So so what it is they get jobs every year at Christmas at these malls as a Santa and his elf, just so they can rob the mall. Everybody, they close down Christmas Eve and they rob the mall blind, and they go lay low till the next year until it's time. And he has become an alcoholic, bitter, sadistic, pessimistic fuck.
Nice.
Even his partner's like,
probably shouldn't be around kids.
Goddamn,
we can all have
you're
goals.
A miserable motherfucker. If y'all haven't seen it, the little kid, they're casing this mall. He needs somewhere to stay, and he meets this little boy whose his parents are always gone. They don't give a fuck about him, and he's stuck with his grandma, which is played by Cloris Leachman, and she only knows how to say one thing: "You want I should make you some sandwiches?" Well, anyway, for whatever reason, Billy Bob Thornton, at first he hates this kid, and he's using him, but over time he starts, even in his own way, kind of developing this love-hate thing with this kid. And there's a great scene at the end. He kind of makes a turn in how he lives, and all he's really trying to do is get the kid wanted this little fucking pink elephant, and he's trying to get to that kid with the pink elephant. And by this point, the cops are all after him, trying to kill him for being who he is. And he's like on his way in to hand the kid the pink elephant, and they gun him down. You need to watch Bad Santa. And the second one is actually his mama is played by Kathy Bates. And she's
weird. I love Kathy Bates. Don't get me wrong.
She's even more foul than he is.
Oh my God.
Pigeonholed herself into the role of creepy.
Yes.
Right.
What's the movie where she
American Horror Story?
Yeah,
Misery.
The Stephen King
it's
one.
Stephen King, but I forget which one.
Where she
Misery.
Yep.
I know. By the way, the book was way worse than the movie, because in the movie she put a block between his leg and used a sledgehammer. In the book, she used an axe.
Okay, let's get away from that.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna disagree with you there, Kenny. Blunt force trauma is always worse than a cut.
Yeah.
I would have rather her take it off with an axe than a fucking sledgehammer and a block of wood.
Yeah, true.
Okay, I'm gonna move on from the horror movie. Okay. Sorry. I'm a pussy. Okay, here we go.
No, your boobs tonight. That's good.
Okay. Now,
I
have talked to Kenny about this earlier in the week, so I know his answer.
Oh, God.
And I kind of know your answer, Daniel, but not the details.
Oh, God.
I want to know. I am a big believer in the paranormal. I want to know if you guys have had any experiences with, I'm going to say spirits. I'm not even going to say ghosts, spirits, and not the alcoholic kind.
What day is it?
Halloween.
It's Halloween.
No, I mean, is it Tuesday?
Yeah.
Then earlier today was probably my last one.
Really?
It's a day.
I know, because you've got that house across the street.
And it's even where I work, dude. All the people that work there are terrified to be in our shop by themselves. I go out there and you can hear people walking around out there and talking, and I'm like, hey, and I'll be by my fucking self.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But down here where I live, like there's a reason I bring tours down here. So
I know.
yes, many. One of the first ones that she and I ever had, one of the first ones that she and I ever had together, was we were standing we were renting a room from a buddy of mine at the time, and we were putting some clothes in the washing machine, and I mean, I'm standing here, she's standing here, and right between us is clear. And we both look at each other like, all right. And that was the first one we ever had together. But she can tell you that shit over yonder she'll be out in the yard at night, and Jocelyn ain't scared of that kind of shit. She's one of those people that seeks it out, and I've watched her run frantic to get the fuck inside.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty common thing here.
Hey Shannon, are you still here?
Y'all come on down.
I'm telling you, Daniel, I'm telling you, I've said it a couple of times in Discord. I think our next meet and greet needs to be down in wherever you're at, and we need to go ghost hunting. I do. I mean, that's just me. But okay, so Kenny, you said you haven't had any experiences.
I have had positive experiences.
Well, that's good.
And so that would be involved with communication with somebody who's no longer with me, and never had any negative experience. I have had a experience that wasn't involving me that I was in, that freaked me out enough that not only did I demand that we reverse every single thing that was just done to get us into that experience, I almost beat the living shit out of my guitar player and like buried him, because his dumbass used to do this thing called grave rubbings, where they take parchment paper on old tombstones.
My grandmother did that.
I used to do that all the time. Okay.
So he was
my grandmother was a genealogist.
Yeah.
He was doing that in a cemetery in San Bernardino, and knocked the tombstone over and asked me to help pick it up. And when I helped pick it up to put it back up, he moved it.
Yeah.
And that
you don't mess with that.
Set off okay, here's all I'm going to say. Call me a liar. I don't give a shit. I was there. You weren't. Okay. I had a brand new VCR. Yes, it's that long ago. We had tape. We didn't have DVD.
No kidding.
Right.
VCR,
and it had fucking 2 brand new batteries in the remote. I had a big ass, like 24-inch IKEA clock. Yes, IKEA, because I was young and cheap. Right. So I had this big ass IKEA clock that was mounted on a 3-inch drywall screw into the fucking wall, right? The fucking clock fell off the wall, and the screw unscrewed itself, and the VCR didn't work. I've seen
shit like that.
And I put new batteries in it, and it didn't work. And I put new batteries in it, and it didn't work. And I said, "You got to go put that fucking thing back where it came from." And he did. And I went back home, and the remote worked just fine. It was just like, and my ex was like, I swear to God, I'll kick both of you out of this house if you don't fix this shit. I don't know what he did that brought this into our house, but it scared the fucking shit out of me. And I just realized, like, if you don't want to know about the paranormal, don't encourage the paranormal. Right. Okay?
Yeah.
Yep. I misspoke a while ago. Mine and Jocelyn's first little weird experience. There's a place in Batesville, Mississippi with a local legend, very much like the Blair Witch, only it's called the Bell Witch, and that's actually a real local legend. Yeah, go ahead.
Batesville?
Mm-hmm. Batesville, Mississippi.
That's sus in the name alone. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Batesville?
Wasn't Bates
right
Norman Bates Hotel? Yeah.
Bates Hotel?
Yeah.
Batesville is about 20 miles from Oxford, Mississippi. It's above Grenada, Mississippi.
Well, I don't care where it's at. So anyway, it's called Batesville.
Keith, why did you
but there's a local place around there, a local legend called the Bell Witch. And there's this grave in a cemetery where the witch is supposed to be.
I've heard of this.
And then her child.
Yeah.
And there is a cage over the child's grave. And it looks like something ripped up out of the grave and ripped the cage out. And there's seashells everywhere. Don't take the seashells. Well, anyway, our first night out there, that was actually one of me and Jocelyn still consider this one of our first romantic dates. Everybody else, because of what was going on, everybody else is freaking the fuck out. Me and Jocelyn are walking through the graveyard holding hands and making faces at each other. And what happened, we get out there, And we take and you got to hear Vaughn, because Vaughn was trying to scare everybody at first, and he was going ooga booga booga booga.
I hate that.
Drunk.
He was drunk.
He was drunk. he was our drummer, and he was bad drunk. But we all go out and see the grave, and people are starting to get that weird feeling, right?
Sounds like
and people are ready to go. So we go to get in Vaughn's truck. Won't crack. It wasn't cell phones back then. We couldn't call anybody.
The redhead boys broke down in Batesville once. It was fucked.
It just so happened that Mitchell, who later became our rhythm guitar player, had heard us say we were going to go out there. And what was hilarious is because there was about 7 of us piled up in Vaughn's truck. It's a big extended cab dually. And people are running for their lives as Mitchell's whipping in there. Don't kill your truck. Don't. He killed his truck. Dead. So now we have 2 truckloads full of people out there. And nobody shit'll start. And everybody else is panicking and freaking out. And me and Jocelyn are over in the shadows, making eyes at each other and kissing. And, everybody.
That does not surprise me. Like, it really does not. It does not.
And I absolutely fell to pieces because Mitchell was one of the jumpiest out of all of us. And you heard me tell the story about him and the dragon plant when we were tripping. Well, this night, he's sitting leaned up against a tree, and he's just, oh my, we got to call someone. We got to figure out someone to get out of here. He's just panicking, right? And I'm sneaking up behind him, and I was fixing to get him, and I kept falling and I actually said I was going to write a song one day called "Falling to Pieces," and it was going to have like 20 different meanings. One of which is when you're trying to sneak up on somebody and you can't stop laughing long enough to actually scare them.
That's
I was sneaking up
behind
him. And I got tickled about the fact that I was fixing to make that motherfucker piss his pants. And I started laughing. And eventually, he turned to thump his cigarette butt. And he saw me standing behind him. And it ruined it. But I couldn't stop laughing.
I know. I'm the same way.
I was fixing to fuck him up long enough.
I'm going to ask the interesting question of both of you. Okay. What is it that intrigues you about supernatural stuff? Ghosts, scary shit.
Okay.
What is it? What
I know I've talked to Daniel about this, and y'all could think I'm crazy. That's fine, whatever. I don't care. I don't know you, but
nice.
I'm of Indian heritage, and I know Daniel is Cherokee. I'm Sioux.
Choctaw.
Oh, Choctaw. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm Sioux. My great grandmother was full-blooded Sioux Indian, and
right.
I know my grandma's role in her tribe before she married my great grandfather was that she was the dream interpreter, and she had the ability to have premonitions. Unfortunately, I have inherited that, and unfortunately, I passed it on to Hunter because a lot of times him and I will talk about dreams we've had, and they come true. And so, yeah, I mean, for me, that's what intrigues me about the paranormal, because it's like, is it really a genetic thing? Is it something? Because I didn't grow up on a
Native
reservation.
Americans, like the Sioux, the Choctaw, Cherokee, Native Americans,
very spiritual.
It's right. It's part of their. I mean,
yes,
their being spirits is accepted as taking in oxygen is life.
Yes.
It's just accepted in their culture. It's not a question. Yep. It's not a question. They know. They know. It's not a question.
Okay.
So
I got a question.
And also, I want to say one more thing, and then you can. Also, another thing that intrigues me, I watch all these ghost shows. The only ones I don't watch is Ghost Adventures, and that's another whole podcast. We won't go there. But I love these ghost shows. And to me, if you take the time to watch them, and you watch really good ones like Kindred Spirits, Ghost Hunters, Ghost Brothers, they educate people. Education is power, because you will see these people, they're all freaked out. Ghost Hunters comes in and they say, okay, this is what we've learned. Blah, 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 blah. And at the end of the show, the people are like, oh, okay.
My favorite Ghost Hunters was the one they couldn't complete. Did you ever see the one where they did the Hellfire Caves in England? They all got down there, and they were in these caves, and they weren't even to where they were going to set up their cameras and shit. And they all fucking flipped out and they got the fuck out them caves. They didn't even finish the show. They didn't do the investigation. They couldn't even go down there in them caves. And that was like crazy.
That was Ghost Hunters International, and I really
Oh,
never
yeah.
watched that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I guess for me, I grew up in this interesting way in this area. The idea that there were spirits, whether they were ghosts of people that have passed or simply something else that inhabits this world with us that we just don't perceive on a day-to-day basis, being irrelevant, they were active around here. So I grew up seeing weird shit like that.
Yeah.
All right. I got into martial arts for a while, and the first guy that I trained under, his name was Keith, and he was a dick. But I got in. I started working with this old man named Master Shea, and he was a fresh off the boat, by God, Korean, and it was old school. It's kind of like you see in those movies where like Jean-Claude Van Damme goes old school, and this old master takes him out and puts him in the contraptions. That
wax was on, wax off.
That was Master Shea. He was old school Korean, and I watched him do shit that defies physics.
Really?
Look, a 3x3 block of ice. I watched that motherfucker go, and that thing go boom, channeling energy. So I got exposed to some of these things when I was young, and my mother will tell you, I have been an inquisitive person. I gotta know.
Yeah.
Whether I'm following football, power. Right. Whether I'm following football, if I take an interest in something, like even there's an animated TV show I watched named it's called Invincible. I had to know who wrote it. Of course, it was based off a comic. I had to go then read the comic. My Star Wars knowledge is next level. I mean, I have a bad sickness. Whenever they put the first Star Wars trivia book out, I wrote the author and told him his mistakes. When I latch on to something I'm interested in, I have to know everything about it. And I was like that as a kid. So I'd see some of these weird things happen, and I would have like, well, why did that happen? I mean, whether I had to try to explain it scientifically or if it was a matter of some new supernatural force, I would have to know. Well, what's going on? You know, we like even in that old school, y'all heard me talk about that old skiing school. We were in that place one night, and literally old textbooks started rolling down the hall at us. Everybody else freaking running outside. I'm like, I want to know what's doing there. I'm like going deeper in the motherfucker. It was like, Daniel, come on. That was actually funny enough. The night they had my katana, and Sean Cady was so scared he was carrying my katana. I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna do against a ghost with a katana anyway, bro? Well, unfortunately, my other buddy Eric Dillon, hi out there, Eric. I know you catch some of these every once in a while. He lurks.
He lurks.
He thought he was going to sneak up on Sean, and Sean had that katana, and Sean was like, "Chip." And to this day, Eric's got a big, I mean, he didn't get me about yay deep, but yeah, dude stabbed him right there and hit his sternum. Because he scared him. And while they're panicking, I'm like, the fuck's kicking this shit down the hall? Hey, how you doing? I'm nice. I'm friendly. Get out. I like what you've done with the place.
He says, I heard my friend trying to open his front door and stood behind him and shouted boo as he walked in. He dropped and turned around, and I got knocked out cold by the flying uppercut that followed. I'll tell you this.
Sorry. That's an asshole move.
If ignorance is bliss, I'm cool with that because I've experienced enough weird shit. I mean, these guys know. I'm not going to say anything other than this. I did time for a drug addiction, right? And part of my time was done in San Quentin. And I read the original Dracula in there. And that is not the
place. We were talking about that.
That is today. Not the place to read it if you don't want to hear weird shit going down. Right.
Okay, let's
while I was there, that was like creepy enough. I didn't want to do it again. So I'm like more cool with like happy shit than that's why I don't spend money on scary movies. I just don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's do a shot and then I'll tell you about my experience.
There's actually something in this house I call Bob. It's like we'll be trying to go to sleep at night and we'll hear shit bouncing across our bathroom cabinet. And I mean, not like just first off, there's no wind in there. So what blew it over? Right. Let's say you set something on the counter and you didn't set it there securely, and maybe it's been kind of half teetering, and it just took it a while to actually fall. No, we're talking about like shit, just like a cat's bouncing. Right. It's just going crazy. I'm like, all right, Bob, we're going to sleep tonight, man. Chill out.
I have someone in my house named Bob too, but he's not a spirit.
Can I?
Right, I bet, Heath. I just drank my shot. I just drank my shot in front of both.
Oh, you did? Okay, here you go.
Oh,
here we go. I've got my chaser. I had to crack a new one because I still got the peanut butter taste from my mouth from the screwball.
I'm not a spot man, Ken, but I know a shot when I see one.
Okay, Forrest Gump.
Woo.
Okay. So,
all right, ready?
I know,
here's a new question for
never mind.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna tell you. I know I've told you two this story. I think we talked about it one night in Discord, but every year I have a big Super Bowl party. It doesn't matter who the team is. I have a Super Bowl party, and I usually lay out. I just usually lay out wings and all ribs, dips, all that.
I'm coming to your
house. When I was raising my kids, I taught them very strictly. You do not double dip. If you go to a party, you put the sauce on your plate. You don't take your chip and dip it in and then dip it in again. It's disgusting.
Puts the sauce on its plate.
Yes. No. So I was having my Super Bowl party. Hunter and I were standing together at the table, putting stuff on our plate. For whatever reason, I don't know. To this day, I don't know why I double dipped. I am very much against that.
But it was a good thing at that moment. You wanted it that bad. You loved it.
Whatever. I did. I double dipped. And like I said, Hunter and I were standing next to each other. I swear to God, to this day, it was standing in between us. Because both Hunter and I heard at the same time, you were double dipping. It was a little girl singing that. And we both looked at each other, and he was like, did you hear that? I'm like, I was going to ask you if you heard it. And he's like, yeah. So.
The shit in my mom's house actually called Jocelyn by name.
Oh, see.
Listen.
Ask her about it in the next live stream.
I will.
Damien agrees with Hot Wheels that he's very phobic of other people's spit. Okay, listen.
Thank you. Yes.
Can I just say that?
Oh, here's another thing. No, wait.
About people spit, but we'll kiss random strangers when we're drunk.
Well, I don't do that, but here's another thing I will not do. If I go to a birthday party, I do not eat the birthday cake. Screw you. Have you seen videos of people blowing out their candles? No, that's gross. Yuck.
All right.
Anyway,
here we go.
Ready? Go back. Okay.
Have you seen the motherfuckers that work in the factory that put that fucking goop in that container that is the frosting?
Oh, dude, I don't want to talk about food service shit. That's why I don't eat pancakes that I have.
Most food that you have bought has been in. I mean, them motherfuckers do picking their nose and not washing.
Yes.
You ready? Here we go. Here we go.
Moving on. We don't want to talk about that.
Sorry, Daniel. Favorite Halloween candy, least favorite Halloween candy.
Smarties.
Favorites or least? Favorite.
I love Smarties.
Is there a least?
I don't know. That's pretty hard.
There are.
Black licorice. I hate black licorice.
I agree with that.
If you don't like black licorice, that's the worst. If you love it, that's the best.
Smarties and the little mini peanut butter cups, Reese's peanut butter cups.
I like those. I'll eat those.
What if I have two favorites?
Okay, go for it.
I have a bunch.
If you're ever in Discord and you see Rommel with his Reese's peanut butter cup in front of the camera and I call him an asshole, it's because Reese's is my favorite and I don't have any currently with me, but he does.
The funny thing about the peanut butter cups, the big ones that you buy when you get the 2-pack, those aren't as good to me as the minis. You buy me a bag of those.
I don't like the minis.
And I will sit there and eat those motherfuckers till they're.
I mean, I'll still eat it, but it's not. I would rather have.
You will. I'm sorry. What were we talking about?
And then we'll also do last Halloween candy you ate. Last Halloween
Fun Dip,
candy
and Fun Dip is my other.
Oh, Fun Dip was badass.
Oh,
Not just for Halloween. Fun Dip was the shit. If y'all didn't know, look, like this was the precursor to drug addiction. We knew that a powder was
You're
good.
right. It's crack. It is.
But the funny thing
You're
is,
right.
with Fun Dip, I rarely ate the powder. I just wanted the stick. I would sit there and eat the stick and crunch on that. That was my thing, man. You do that too? Yeah, I didn't have to have the powder.
That was the crack stick.
Yeah.
Like it had its own flavor too.
That's where the good shit was.
Matter of fact, best friend, he'll go to Dollar General and he'll buy me like an 18 pack of Fun Dip, and he brings it to me, and I eat the stick first. And then I take the pack and I cut the top off, and I'm like,
they should sell just the stick.
You realize they had the small pack, the big pack, and the extra large pack, right?
Right.
Yes.
The small pack was 1 stick, 2 pouches.
And the extra large was 4.
The medium was 2 sticks and 3 pouches, and the large was 5 pouches.
Oh, yeah, and 4 sticks.
And 4 sticks. 4 sticks.
4
that's
sticks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, Jesus Christ, you're like, we'll feed your level of addiction. You
right?
Pick.
No doubt. Damn.
Hey, man, the first crack you ever had in your life was Pixie Sticks, bro.
Okay.
I know you do. It's
for anybody who's
cocaine. Daniel, that is, talk about a line. That is a line.
Daniel, I believe you've seen it. I don't believe Wheels has, and that's okay. But do you remember, Daniel, when the crazy chick in Breakfast Club made her sandwich?
Yes.
You just had to bring that up, didn't you,
and
Kenny?
it was
lie.
Listen, it was sandwich bread. She pulled the meat out and threw it away and put Captain Crunch in it and Pixie Sticks and squished the whole thing together and ate a sandwich of bread with Captain Crunch and Pixie Sticks.
But don't worry, D, it's a cry for help. That wasn't a culinary preference.
Culinary?
Wait, I kind of like that actually. I'm just saying.
She's in the movie, she's one of the, she's like the disturbed one, and it's a cry for help.
She's the only person who ended up in detention, not because she did anything wrong, but she didn't have anything else to do that day. So she showed up. Right. Yeah. Everybody else got in trouble, and she's the one who just showed up because she had nothing else to do.
She had nothing else to do.
For those of you who are new to this podcast, or maybe are new to me, I have not seen the movie The Breakfast Club, and that seems to be a big issue in Discord.
It is a fucking big issue.
It's a huge issue.
Phenomenal movie.
Yes.
It is a phenomenal
Every day I hear about the fact that I have not seen The Breakfast Club.
Sometimes I say you might want to ignore whether or not you like a certain actor or actress just to see what they do in the movie.
No, I do not like Molly Ringwald. I'm sorry, Molly Ringwald, if you watch this podcast.
The good news
everybody
is
in that movie had to leave Hollywood for their drug addiction for a while before they came back to Hollywood. Everybody that was in that movie.
The good news is Molly Ringwald was like the stuck-up piece of shit character in the movie.
I know, that's why I didn't like her.
Actually, my favorite Molly Ringwald role is the original. They've done a remake recently, and I don't even want to watch it. But the original release of Stephen King's The Stand, it's a 6-hour miniseries. Molly Ringwald played, and it was a different role for her. She's got darker hair, and at first, I'll put it this way: unless somebody really knows who the fuck Molly Ringwald is, when you first see her character, you're not going to think, "Oh, that's Molly." Right? That's Molly Ringwald. I don't like her. That was her first departure from all them little 80s. But now Breakfast Club. Now you had at the time, man, people like shit like Father of the Bride, 16 Candles.
Again, I was not allowed to go to movies.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, all these 80s movies. Breakfast Club was one of the peaks of that.
The thing with Breakfast Club is whether you've seen it or not, I pretty much don't. It doesn't matter where. It doesn't matter where you live, how old you are. If you watch The Breakfast Club, you're going to identify with one or more of the characters.
That's the whole point of the movie.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this. Have you seen St. Elmo's Fire?
Yes, and I love it.
I'm like, I love that movie.
I love it. That is my second favorite movie with him in it. That is my second favorite movie with him in it.
Daniel sings the songs. Kenny and I talk about the plot. Daniel sings the songs.
Daniel is a black-eyed pea, yes.
Oh my God.
That's good
Wheels
enough for
is
me.
holding up to the number 2.
I am not the Cookie Monster. I am the Pussy Monster.
Dude, look, I ain't even look.
This podcast just went bad real quick.
Look, and we still have 14 minutes before I
know we have 14 minutes.
Somehow we got to reel this back in or get crazier. What do you guys? Okay,
Hey,
go. Go.
I gave you 2 hours, man. We don't have to kill it in 16.
No, you said an hour and a half.
To
two. Go read the comment.
He said an hour
I
and a
didn't
half
see
to
the
2.
comment.
But if
my point was,
an
is
hour
like
and
the
a half,
last 2 weeks, we've been having so much fun. The last 2 weeks went real long. I was just saying, I take Mama to
and
the
an
doctor
hour
tomorrow,
and a
so I don't
half,
need
I will start beginning to attempt to like integrate, like we'll shut it down, and that takes 20
We have to
minutes
start
to
an
do.
hour and a half, so we're done in 2.
Right? So at an hour and a half, I start talking about y'all can join us in Discord and all that, but we're not there yet. I digress.
No. You've watched our live streams. Josh will be like,
minutes.
it's time for us to go. And like 2 hours later, closing time.
Hey, wait a minute. I got a question. Hey, all of you watching the podcast, don't listen right now. This is me between us. Did she like the sign?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay, cool. I was worried what she thought of it.
What's funny is she keeps telling me how goofy and silly it is, but yet there's a huge smile on her face. And the thing is, she tells me the same thing. You're so fucking silly or goofy or whatever, but there's this big grin on her face. I'm like, well, there's the desired effect. It's working, isn't it?
Okay.
So he says
we're gonna
the
go back to
scariest
Halloween.
thing I do is looking at the mirror as I walk past.
Who said that?
Heath, can you
put
a picture in our Discord so I can see if this
Are you kidding? Oh, I was totally
Heath, you haven't seen my second wife. I'm just you can go to Discord and I'll show you pictures.
That sounds like a horror movie by itself.
Dude, listen, I was gonna say the worst horror movie I ever participated in was my first divorce.
I was gonna say Heath was talking about he doesn't like to look in mirror. I am telling you, when I was younger, before I had kids, I was all about walking by a building that was made of glass and
do all your thing in it.
Oh,
now you just want to be in a farmhouse with struggle.
There is a horror movie named Mirrors that will make you not want to look in mirrors, but I'm not. Dude. I never caught myself and went, oh, look at you, so fly.
Oh, I did, especially when I was younger. Oh yeah.
The last time I saw myself
hold on,
in the mirror,
Kenny.
I want to see it again.
I want to go back to this. Wasn't there a horror movie
about mirrors?
Yeah, it had somebody coming out of a mirror.
Or was it the one where they were walking through that fucking house of mirrors? The house of mirrors, and they were walking through it, and then there was like killers in it.
Hey, have you ever seen the horror movie? Shit, is it called House of Glass? It's not really a horror movie. There's a serial killer after this girl, and she's in this. She's house sitting for these really rich people, and the whole house is glass and see through. And she's house sitting for these rich people. And this dude,
would love that.
It's actually a good movie. It's got
that. I've always wanted a house that's
what was
glass.
her name? There was 2 of them that were just
Demi
like
Moore?
This is past that. Minka Kelly, and there was 2 actresses that looked just Jocelyn. She'll know what this is.
Damn, I hope she doesn't
Minka Kelly and what was
she's gonna bring a drink in. How much you want to make a bet? Jocelyn's gonna bring a drink
because I've got the cup.
Hey,
here, baby.
Jocelyn.
We're talking horror movies, and this is your shit.
You gotta tell her.
Wasn't there a movie called House of Glass where the girl was house sitting, the glass house kind of thing, and the dude came after her?
The glass house. Yes.
That wasn't Minka Kelly. What was the other one? I used to always confuse those 2.
That movie was Lily Sobieski.
Lily Sobieski.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Now I need you to explain to her that we were not going to yell at her to come in and answer that. We were going to ask her nicely, like entice her.
We were.
Yeah,
I yelled at her. That's on me. Y'all don't have to worry.
This is why he's got a black eye.
Jocelyn.
Give him another black eye so he's 2 black-eyed peas.
They're saying you should give me another black eye. Would you be so kind?
I told you. What did I say? I said she's gonna get him a drink. Yes.
Oh.
I have the bestest wife in the world.
You do. You 2 are so amazing together.
At this point in time, I'll probably agree. Okay. Move on.
Okay. Back to Halloween. Take 2.
What? Halloween? Is it that day? Oh, hey, wait. No. I had a question because we're old.
Speak for yourself, asshole.
What candy can't you eat now that you could eat when you were younger?
Sugar daddy. That's long. It's a big piece of caramel on a stick, and your teeth would get stuck in it. Now it will take the tooth with it.
Right. Okay. We're on the same page. Mine's gonna be anything that's chewy. Like, I hate to say
That
it,
is so true.
the last 3 Halloweens, I ripped a crown off or something by eating my kids' leftover Halloween candy. And unfortunately for me, it's always Skittles, because I'm like, I know I can't eat the taffy.
I love Skittles.
I'm like, I can't eat the taffy, but I'm going to keep these 32
Skittles.
little bags of Skittles. And then I end up at the dentist going, I was eating Skittles.
Okay, can I just say something here? And this is kind of Halloween related. Kind of. We had a news story here today, and I'm going to call B6 on this. And if you don't understand what B6 means, come to Discord and you'll understand. We had a story of a nail that was found in a
Notice she
big...
said come to, not come in. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, God.
Come on. He's not going to help us. There's 3 ways this goes. Come to, come on, come in. Whatever.
Hey, it's like my friend was like pissed off, and I said, hey, it's better be pissed off than pissed in. And then... the reply
Jocelyn just walks away. Did you notice that? Wait. She just walks away.
Better to be pissed on than pissed in.
Right. It's right. It's better to be pissed off than pissed on, and it's better to be pissed on than pissed in. That's it. Yeah.
Anyway, back to my
Tootsie
story.
Rolls.
Okay. Yes, Tootsie Rolls. So we had a news story here today, and this happens every year. And I called B6 on it. It was, the big Tootsie Rolls that you can get. Okay, first of all, this kid, he got that in his bag, supposedly. Who gives out big Tootsie Rolls, whatever. And in this big Tootsie Roll was a nail.
Dude.
Yeah, so they were telling kids, make sure you check your candy, blah, blah, blah. I think this is propaganda. I think that they do this every year.
Listen, can I say I agree, because they talked about, like, kids, be careful, there might be drugs in your candy.
Yeah.
There was never fucking drugs in my candy, and I wanted them so bad.
I know.
Okay, I'm just saying.
We have, in the state of Mississippi, there has been an incident of someone finding a razor blade in their apple. They were given a piece of fruit, and there was a razor blade in it. And something else they found at the Walmart, actually right here in Macomb, Mississippi. This kid the kid died. But what they found and traced it back to, someone had taken a pack of like Wrigley's gum, carefully unwrapped all the pieces of gum and dosed them with acid and wrapped them back up and put them in there and then dropped them out on the ground for somebody to find.
Dude.
And it just so happened this kid found it.
I would have survived. I'm sorry I wasn't there. I feel like I let you down, dog. I'm just saying.
I think it's weird that every year we have this story at Halloween time. And I know the small town that we grew up, or not that we grew up in, but that we lived in Iowa, every year after Thanksgiving,
right, Shannon?
After Halloween, you could take your bag of candy to the local hospital and they would x-ray it for you for free. And the kids thought it was so fun because they were like, "Oh, yeah, here's the kid."
Dude, I just wanted to take the candy by the drug sniffing dog and see if I got lucky.
Do you know what one of my favorite my favorite Halloween pranks are? Pranks gone bad, I guess you could say. There's a video, you can look it up on YouTube right now. This guy, the people have left the candy. Well, let me preface this. It looks on the porch like it's the honor system.
Dude,
like
that's gross.
A fucking scarecrow.
Yeah.
A scarecrow holding a big bowl of candy, and you come up and take what you want. Well, it turns out that there was a dude in the scarecrow suit,
and the one guy,
and he moved. And it's funny enough, it's a black father. When that kid goes to take that candy, and that fucking dude moves in that scarecrow, he kills him. One punch, bam.
Yeah.
Listen.
I've seen that. I love that video.
I'm just saying, fuck around and find out, right?
Exactly.
Listen, I mean, if you know, we're old enough that we were allowed to do that. Fuck around and find out. Now y'all, like it wasn't. Are you gonna touch that hot stove again? If this fucker touches it again, he's stupid, and we need to get him a helmet. Right?
Our generation is where, and our generation and back is where the fuck around and find out come from. Now we say that like if you mess with us, you're gonna get this shit. Fuck around and find out. No, see, you know how parents taught their kids back in the day? If you stuck a fucking fork in the light socket and it blew you across the goddamn room, they're like, "No, you won't do that again, will you?" I mean, that was the teaching method. Fuck around and find out. Go ahead, D.
Damn.
No, I did that.
I did it with a paper clip.
I did it with the butter knife.
For like,
no bigger, don't go.
I wish I would have had friends of every age when I was growing up. You know why? Because I realized that the older we get, the worse our stories get, right? Like the more bullshit we put up with. Like I was raised by my grandparents, so it wasn't even like mom and dad. I had like their 60-year-old stories, right? About what their shit was like. Like for real. And I just remember thinking by the time I was like 7 that life is fucked, because they pretty much told me it was, right? And now I think about it and I'm like, they were not lying. Look at 2023.
Okay, so I want to go back to Halloween.
Okay, it's still Halloween. You don't have to go back. We're still here.
We're going to circle back.
Just say
redirect.
Yeah.
She sounds like that damn press bitch for the Democrats. We're going to circle back.
Oh,
not just say that. You called her that? She's going to turn her camera off.
Oh, yeah. I'm done. I am done. Done. D-U-N.
Done.
When you are extremely done, it is D-U-N. There's no spelling it correctly.
When we were D, when my mom
I'm not. No. I don't want to hear from you, Kenny.
Okay,
Kenny.
So okay, hang on. I know how to handle this. Look, we just do that for a second. So anyway, can I just mention before I bring him back on? Thank you for keeping the male audience retention this long in our server tonight. Like literally, we couldn't do this without you. Stop with the fingers, okay? God.
Seriously, my mom and I were trying to find a new name for one of her colts.
Oh, sorry.
And
one of our colts? What?
Yeah, one of our colts. We used to race horses. And we were looking through. When you said done, it made me think of this.
Okay, wait. Kenny, did you think what I was thinking? Okay.
One of the first times my mom and I, even though my mom was a lifetime pot smoker, and I've been a lifetime pot smoker, one of the first times my mom and I ever actually got high together, we were trying to pick out names for this new horse this new colt that was going to be born. And we were looking through all of the state registered colts for the AQHA the year before. And there was one called I Stepped in the Paint, all one word. I stepped in the paint. Of course, it was a paint horse.
Step in the shit.
We came across a horse's name that was Dun to Dun Dun. And we both laughed until we blew snot bubbles.
Yeah.
That just fucking, for whatever reason, that tickled. And when you said done, it made me think of that fucking horse name, Dun to Dun Dun.
D-U-N. Done.
Done. Yep, done.
That is the higher level of done.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what it is in this house. Okay. I know. I don't know if you caught this or not, Daniel. But when you said I was helping my mom look for new names for colts.
Yeah.
Kenny and I both thought you said cults like religion.
Yes, not colts, like horses.
Y'all have heard me talk about my mama. If there was something cultish going on, that bitch would have exercised.
Listen, I mean, there's good cults, weed smoking.
I'm sorry, you got Satan in you, boy. You gotta die.
There's good cults, it involves weed and macrame and fucking potlucks and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Macrame. Macrame, that was something that we lost in the 70s.
Dude, macrame was dope.
I know.
In fact, I'm gonna be honest. It got
replaced by origami.
I saw somebody down the street had a yard sale, and they had these
macrame owl.
Macrame pot holders.
For
hanging your plant. And I almost got it, but it was frayed, and it was like on its last leg. But those things were badass.
Okay, we need to get back to Halloween.
Why are we still here? Back.
It's 9:30.
It's 9:30.
It's 9:30 Central Standard Time.
Shannon, listen, you're probably right, but I'm not going to guarantee anything at this point in time because I drank too much whiskey.
What did Shannon say?
He said Colts are not good. I mean...
Well, yeah. I mean, what was his name down in Waco? Tim Koresh? Or
no, the most ignorant Colt. And this is going on in Los Angeles. up until I think last year, the woman finally died. But there was a 60-something-year-old woman that started this cult where the way you repented of your sins was to fuck her.
And she declared how much you were sinning.
Right. I guess. But that's how you. That's how that was your time. That was your 10 Hail Marys or your repentance. You fucked her, and I was sitting there thinking, this nasty, ugly bitch has figured out a way to make a whole bunch of dudes fuck her.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
Being a single woman in the Midwest,
you wouldn't call that a cult. Okay.
That is brilliant.
Right?
That is brilliant. 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 All I'm going to say.
She's got this a lot. New plan.
Brilliant.
New plan. Brilliant. She won't be around that much during the day.
That was kind of my first thought because she was this little. I mean, they had
brilliant.
She was on national.
Can you
news.
imagine? Can you imagine if Struggle Jennings came in to repent? I'd be like, oh, you motherfucker are never gonna be forgiven. Sorry.
You got 7,000 sins.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I thought that when I first saw it because it was on national TV and everything. They were talking about this, and I was sitting there thinking, when they showed her, she was this short little toad-looking shrew of a woman, and I was sitting there thinking, same thing, brilliant. That bitch is getting laid daily now.
Yes,
dude,
yes.
Dude, listen,
that is brilliant. Okay. So for anybody who agrees with me that that's brilliant, you need to join us in Discord afterwards. We need to come up with a name for our new cult.
Nate wants to know I should start a cult like that where I make women fuck me. Listen,
who is that?
Every time your son walks behind you in that camera, I think it's in mine, and I'm fixing to start.
I know.
Nate, listen,
I know. I'm sorry.
If it's
I'm
not,
sorry.
Fucks me up every time.
I know.
Nate, listen. Nate says I should start a cult like that where I make women fuck me. Nate, listen, if your shit ain't godly,
that's not going to work for a dude.
Yeah,
they're not
going to work for a guy. No,
they're not going to sin.
No,
they're
sorry,
intentionally
Nate.
not going to sin.
If
that's
that
a pickup line
work
in Wisconsin.
If that does work for a dude, you're not going to want the women that are repenting.
Well, that's true.
You know, oh God.
Okay, so back to Halloween because that shit was scary. What I just
I want to go back to my cult.
Okay, listen, if you were going to have a cult, what would it be? Yours would be that. Okay, Daniel, what would yours be?
If she's going to have a cult, that means she was fucking a horse, Kenny.
No, okay, no, we're talking with the you.
No, we're talking about religion.
We're talking about like, you know.
Nay.
Okay, if I have a cult.
D, you should go watch. It's one of our church videos, and I can't remember which one it is now. It's kind of famous for me because he says horse fugging. And I go off on this tear about horse fuckers. And I probably say horse fucker at least 76 times during that video.
Lord.
Even every time we push stop, I'm like, hey, we were drunk when we did that reaction. Every time we push stop and we're supposed to comment on what he just said, I'm like, fucking filthy horse fuckers.
Right.
How did we go from Halloween to horse fuckers? Red.
It's my fault.
Red is sitting behind here and she's just seething.
Rolling
no,
her
she isn't. I don't even see her typing. Red, if you're here, yell at us.
She will.
She has done thrown her hands up and
that's probably true. That's probably true.
Probably done with us.
Yeah,
she's probably done with us. I'm gonna go watch Game of Thrones.
No, I think they're done with that now.
Yeah, they don't fuck horses. They just fuck their sister. What?
Wait, who fucked whose sister?
In
Game of Thrones? Okay, I'm gonna. What channel is that on? I'm renting it. What?
Shots or no? Are we done with shots?
No, we ain't done. Oh, hang on.
I said shots, not bowl.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. Smoking bandit.
Bottle
the
shot
bear,
glass. I guess. Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers. To D's new cult.
I thought you were going to say D's nuts.
If I had
that too. Yeah,
okay, if I have a cult,
that's why I should name my new cult. That's why I should name my new cult. D's nuts.
That has come full circle because my daughters go around saying it all the time now.
It has.
And I'm like, yeah, I can't say anything because I used to walk around saying it.
Yeah, it's come in Discord. Yeah, it's come
okay.
full circle.
Can I have a cult?
Yeah.
Can it involve like things that grow naturally?
Maybe through surrogacy.
Like a cult full of weed and certain types of mushrooms.
You know what I love the most about this podcast?
It's the debauchery.
But we get to the point where somebody says something and the other two of us are just like dying laughing because we're thinking something totally different. Yeah.
Damn, y'all
Sorry,
are ahead
Kenny.
of me, and I didn't land where you wanted me to. I feel like I let you down tonight.
No, you did not. Stop it.
It's
No.
the overalls, bro. It's the
saying, if I was-
overalls. They have a particular sag. The balls are hanging
They
free.
do.
The blood's
Dude,
flowing
the
evenly,
balls
not
ain't
one
hanging
way.
free, bro. They're
Oh
pinched in
God,
this
no,
motherfucker right
Kenny,
here.
no.
I'm just saying.
I've chewed that tater. I don't need to do it again.
You did? I didn't even feel it. You had your teeth out, didn't you? I love you, dog. You're the best black-eyed pea I ever
Hooker's on
had.
the point. You're gonna gum that dick. Gum that dick. Gum that dick.
Listen, back to Halloween because this is scary tonight.
We're circling back.
I just want to say to Kenny, I want to thank him for wearing a shirt under his bibs.
Right.
You laugh. But in Iowa, bless their
They
heart.
don't.
No. I have an uncle. I don't think I've ever seen him with a shirt on under his bibs.
And he only wears one strap done, right? The other one's hanging open.
Oh my God, he does.
Like
You're
this.
right. I
know
just
what I'm
thought
doing.
of that.
It's this shit right here.
Get out of my head. Yeah.
You have no idea. You have no idea how deep I'm there.
We're just going to move on with, you know what? Everybody that would have a good name for my cult, come into Discord and give me some ideas. I'm not kidding you. I'm going to start that cult.
Okay, we're going to start cults in Discord. Somebody post the link. Each of us are starting our own cult. Mine involves weed and mushrooms. Okay, I'll figure out a name. What does yours involve?
Who?
Yours. No, Daniel, I'm afraid of yours.
Yeah, that's true.
And well, you should be, my friend.
Yeah. Mine is that you have to screw me to repent.
Oh, okay. All right. Look, shut up, all you guys that are going to join her cult automatically. That's bullshit. Okay.
Do you know how many hard legs just went and repented to fuck her?
Dude,
as
like
screwish and nasty as she was, there's a lot of hard-legged motherfuckers that's out there like,
what?
Is there
screwy pussy? No pussy.
I hope you're talking about the woman who was the original founder, not me.
Is there any chicks?
Oh, I don't know anything about
you.
She
just got all the dudes, and we didn't get anybody. Yeah, Damien, listen.
I asked for that. I did. I asked for that.
And here's how mine goes. The more you sin, the more shrooms and weed you get.
Hey, who are you, Kenny?
Let me get on that mailing list.
Nobody cares about your mushrooms and your stems and whatever.
I fucking do. Shut up.
Are we firing in the hole yet?
I need my cult.
Okay, you can have a horse. We're gonna have weed and mushrooms and make people like fucking sin to smoke. You know how cool that is? Like at the end of the day, all you have to do is be you, and we just keep commanding you to smoke.
Do you know? Do you know what one of the most successful bullshit schemes in America was? And it only took motherfuckers about 2 years to figure this motherfucker out.
I'm sorry. I just think that
he actually ran an ad, and this was in the early days of Facebook. This was in the early days of Facebook. Motherfucker ran an ad that said, if you would like to learn how to get everyone in America to send you $2, send $2 in self-addressed stamped envelope to such and such. And I was like, and that motherfucker got filthy before they figured it out. I was like, y'all are fucking, people are stupid. People are stupid.
They are.
People are stupid. They're sheep. They're colts.
I'm sorry.
Wait, Damien, no, we're not. Okay, listen,
I don't
Damien.
mean to be stuck on this, but I'm still thinking about that. How brilliant that woman was.
Listen, hang on. Damien had something to say, but it's really long and my eyes are crossed. So I can't read your comment. Just join us in Discord.
That's the way to go. I am the high priestess of cock. All you
Yes!
have to do is repent.
Whoa,
Right?
whoa,
Oh my
whoa! No,
God.
Daniel just declared
is so
himself as
awesome.
the high priestess of
No, he's
God.
talking about me.
No, he didn't.
Or
He
he's
didn't
talking
say you. He said I am.
That's not
Dude.
going away. You just fucked yourself. That's not going away. D is now forever to our Discord community, the high priestess of cock.
Both of you are. You declared it, and she said it. Holy
I was
shit.
referring to
Listen,
someone.
at the
Can
end of the
She
day,
said
I
her.
have when you join
Can
Discord, I
somebody
have
tell me
nothing
if
to do with
Rommel's
cock
still
at all.
watching? Because if Rommel's still watching, that I just did myself in.
Listen, all I'm
That's it.
saying is if you join Discord, I have nothing to do with cock at all at the end of the day. All right?
I'm sorry.
balls.
How did we get from Halloween to this woman's brilliant idea? Damn, we just went.
Of cults?
Yes, Kenny, we're talking about this amazing woman that has this amazing cult.
Is that really the best cult ever?
Yes. Yes. If you are a
If you're-
single woman,
I'm
that
finna
is the
say-
most amazing cult ever.
I'm
thinking about-
sure Daniel's
I am
going to
thinking-
agree because Daniel's moist right now.
You know my secret, Kenny?
You know what, Kenny?
I'm
Take
always
me out. We're done.
And
We're
no,
done.
I love
We're
you
done.
anyway.
No, we're
No,
done.
I'm kidding.
Oh, let me
Anyway.
just say this real quick.
She hates that word.
I am
hate-
not going to take chastisement from the trailer trash. I'm just saying.
What?
I hate the word moist. For anybody who's new, I hate the word moist. I hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it.
Yeah.
The weather girl this morning. She's talking
Oh,
about
did she
snow
say it
storm coming
again?
in. Now, I will tell you,
She was
My best
flirting
friend-
with the news anchors. What she was
no,
doing.
my best friend is Jamie. He comes over every morning and we have coffee and we watch the news together.
I bet he
Cool.
doesn't say
That is our
moist.
routine. We're sitting there. The weather girl is like, we're going to have 1 to 2 inches come in. We might get lake effect, but the worst that's going to happen is that it's going to get moist.
You're like, okay, so that's your night. What about mine?
I'm telling
damn it?
you, she was
Hold
flirting.
on.
There was a
No.
news, somebody else
No.
in that studio she
No.
was flirting with.
No. Jamie looks at me and he's like, how soon do I need to turn this off? I'm like, now.
He knew
You
it.
need
He
to turn
knew
it off
He
now.
knew it.
Oh, he knew.
it.
He
He
knew.
knew it.
Trust me, he knows I hate that word.
Okay, wait, Daniel,
Hate
do you
that
have
word.
one word that you can't stand?
Sobriety.
Yeah, that shit sucks. Fuck all you who try to say
What?
that. shit,
Checkpoint.
but-
Checkpoint. That's
Yeah,
the word he
fuck all
hates.
those.
Checkpoint.
Listen, all you got to do
Yeah,
is tell them you
roadblocks
got
not good.
asthma and you can't breathe in that thing. Tell them you ain't gonna piss, and then tell them you need a blood test, but you demand your doctor to do it, and that'll get them to like 6:30 in the
Dude.
morning.
Hold on.
Let
hold
me
on.
tell you what. Trying to explain to a cop that just pulled you over and gave you a DUI how a breathalyzer cannot, and this is actually scientifically accurate, a breathalyzer cannot tell you how much alcohol is in a person's bloodstream.
Yeah.
It cannot.
No, it can't.
No.
And I was explaining this to this cop,
Yeah.
and I had him roll it. And now, granted, I was, well, the first DUI I probably actually did deserve. The second one I
The
did not.
first DUI?
I got 2 when I was in college. And the second one, I was the designated driver. The dude, matter of fact, bitch pulled up to the cop in front of me, ahead of me, and puked on his goddamn shoes, and he waved her through. They pulled me over and got me out. Didn't say a fucking word.
Dude,
Okay,
Got
but
me
I'm
out of the
just
fucking
gonna say-
truck, put me
I'm
in
just going to
cuffs.
say, as the designated driver,
you want to know?
you're kind of not supposed to drink.
I had 2 beers all night, and that was
the
like way
terror
earlier.
moment. The terror moment for me was I had just poured a drink before I left the house, right? But it had ice in it and it wasn't cold, so I was going to let it cool down, right? But it was in a double gulp cup, you know, them 64-ounce fucking big gulp
Dude.
cups, right, with ice.
Dewey.
I go into Blockbuster Video. Yes, you heard that, Blockbuster Video. I shop around for a
remember.
few, get my video, and then I'm driving back. But now they set up a DUI checkpoint between this block and the next block where I live. And I pull up, and I got this damn 64-ounce fuzzy navel, peach schnapps, vodka, and orange juice. And the
Mine's
cop,
about a 64-inch.
dude, and I pull up, and the cop goes, "Have you had anything to drink tonight?" And I
My
go,
fuzzy
"Just."
navel.
Jocelyn!
He goes, "Have you had anything to drink tonight?" And I go, "Just this Dr. Pepper." And I put the straw in my mouth, and he goes, "You can go." And I'm like, "Fuck, I don't want to drink this because it's orange juice and fucking vodka and peach snot." Holy shit, that scared the shit out of me. But I actually like blew some shit on one of them things, and like went over the limit. And I told him, okay, go ahead, take me to the hospital. We ain't going to the jail. You're gonna take me to the hospital right now. And he's like, why? And I go, because besides the 3 beers that I drank at 6:00, I just had some Robitussin.
Oh.
And the cop was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
My boy Mikey got out of 2 DUIs. One, he said he needed his inhaler. That's why he couldn't blow in the thing. Right. And then he told him, he's like, I ain't pissing, but you could draw blood. And he got to the ER at 3:20 in the morning, and he said, I'm not allowing you to draw blood. I want my doctor to do it. And he'll be in the office at 6:00. You can call him. And by the time they came in and did the test, he was below the legal limit. But the other time he got out of it with saying he needed an asthma inhaler. And I actually tried that, and that shit worked. Don't try it twice. It might not work twice.
My second DUI that I was actually not guilty of.
Oh, Lord.
There's a particular sorority. I probably shouldn't call them by name. Try to.
Yeah, don't. Make it up.
I did. It's too late. Anyway, this girl gets out of her car, and the cop says to her, we're going to need you to blow. And he actually said into this, right? All the girl heard when he said, we're going to need you to blow, she went straight to her fucking knees, dude. We were like, and you know what?
Why did you just do this? Why did you just do this? No, why did she just do this when you said that? What? Okay.
Because if I had been drinking.
I was going to say, she's gotten out of a ticket or two in her day.
Oh, no. I have, but not by that. I usually say, oh, officer, I'm cramping so bad.
Look,
I'm trying to get home because I'm bleeding. He's like, here you go. Bye.
This one cop, and it's hilarious because he was actually the sheriff of Walthall County for a long time, and he was crooked as fuck. The reason he's no longer in Pike County is because a husband stomped his ass. But there was one time my mother was, all right, we had just left. She picked me up from, I was staying with this woman that was a dear friend of hers. She was kind of babysitting me for the afternoon while mama did some grocery shopping. The next stop was soccer practice. We had that very same blue Buick Electra 222 that I told you about was my first car.
Right.
The problem with that car was the cam was fucked up. There was no acceleration into that car whatsoever. It did 0 to 60 in about 6 hours. Well, we are turning off this road onto Pearl River Avenue.
Wait, is this a car or a girlfriend?
And made it. It was a land yacht, actually.
That's what I called her. Was it a girl or a car?
We had turned onto Pearl River Avenue and had made it maybe 30 feet. Now, a Ferrari can't even go 0 to 60 in 30 feet.
No.
But this cop, the lights hit, and it's that guy that, well, anyway. And I'm in the car, and the guy pulls over and says, I just clocked you doing 60 in a 30. And Mama's like, we just turned right there. There's no way. And he starts this, maybe we can make some alternate arrangements. My mama looked up at that motherfucker and said, I will fucking cut your dick off right here, bitch.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like 10, right? And I'm like, same thing. I'm like, oh, my God.
This was like a Forrest Gump situation.
And then funny enough, he goes, well, I'm going to need your name. I'm going to arrest you for whatever, And she's like, Mike Dunaway. That motherfucker went and got in his car and left. When she said her husband was Mike Dunaway. My dad.
Yeah. I know your dad had a reputation.
He was a crazy motherfucker. That's right. That motherfucker went and got in his car and left. But the reason he was no longer 2 weeks after that, 2 weeks after that, he had a husband track him down from a woman he tried that shit with and stomped a mud hole in his ass right in the middle of Locust Street in the middle of Macomb. And that motherfucker went on to be the sheriff of Walthall County. And when I was working, when me and Jocelyn first moved back here, I was working in Walthall County at the time. This is how inept and how crooked they are. There was this one dude, and he was coming back for a transfer. Now, he had already escaped the police once before, and they found him down in Mexico prostituting out his wife. And at that event, it was his whole reason for being at that thing was it was his mom's funeral. And they let him out of the cuffs, and the motherfucker. Anyway, they were going to transfer him. Now, the first red flag should have been where all the other prisoners on the bus were carried around back. He was dropped off in front. And he was actually in the sheriff of Walthall County's office when he disappeared. Now, with that said, this guy's mother was the circuit clerk of Walthall County, one of the sheriff of Walthall County's side pieces.
Daniel,
this guy was found, funny enough,
Halloween.
He was clean shaven, well fed. Somebody had been putting that motherfucker up. You know what I'm saying? We had right across from Tyler Tools where I worked 4 black choppers, 17 black SUVs. You know what that means? That's federal. That's FBI and shit like that.
Yeah.
13 state troopers, the entirety of the Tylertown Police Department, and all of the Walthall County Sheriff's Department had that motherfucker hemmed in a little spot in the woods that was about a half an acre. And he somehow got by them all.
Damn.
Because he had help from the sheriff that was fucking his mama. That dude finally got voted out of office. They kept him in office for almost 30 years because if you was in the know, you could get away with anything. And they finally elected somebody else over there. And now and this guy finally helped make Walthall County a wet county. So they're really loving him.
Can I just say nobody ever should be in office for 30 years?
We've had that talk. You know, I agree.
Yeah, that's another whole podcast.
Yep.
Okay, so we need to wrap it up.
Yep.
Because we're almost at 2 hours. So I want to say to everybody
out costume tonight. What do you guys think?
No, we already talked about that.
No, them. What do they think of our costumes?
Yeah. Good one, Kenny. Yes.
Get in there and let us
who
know.
has the best costume.
It's the white trash.
I'm going to start a cult. So
you are
a cult.
A religion.
She's going to start a cult.
No, whatever it is. Like dudes are going to be sinning on purpose.
Oh, whatever. Okay. Go ahead, Daniel.
I would say before we get out of here, I want to tell you about this particular stupidity I saw today. We talked about people being stupid.
We did.
This girl was yes, we do often, in fact. But this girl had just gotten her a hot dog at this restaurant. And
a girl got a hot dog.
She's going to put the hot dog in her mouth, and she goes to bite into it and goes, "Fuck, it's hot." And the guy, I guess her boyfriend, said, "You've got to blow on it." And she went,
"Oh, yeah."
And I was like, "There's no hope. There's no hope for us ever again."
Dude, have you watched Gen Z Can't Answer Basic Question videos? Dude, I reacted to that. There is no hope. Listen to all of y'all. Join the Discord before it's too late because there is no hope. The future is here, and we're in the Discord for it.
Did you ever watch long before, like now, even news stations will go out and interview people to see how uneducated they are?
Oh,
we're talking in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. There was a show. It was a game show called Street Smarts.
Yeah.
And the contestants would gamble based off the questions that they would ask the general public.
I remember that show.
Yeah. People are fucking stupid. Oh my God.
Dude, game shows are stupid. Remember the whammy one?
That was my favorite show in life.
No
whammy, no whammy, no whammy, stop. That was my favorite show ever.
Press your luck.
Right.
Which just made a comeback recently.
It did.
My aunt was on that.
Okay, we got to wrap it up. We can't talk about game shows on Halloween.
We're going to circle back.
All right.
We got to wrap it up.
What candy are you bringing to the Discord tonight? Let us know when you get in there.
Hold on.
What do you got? Damn, you want a Butterfinger?
Oh,
she wants
come over to Discord and watch me eat it.
He's trying to throw.
Damn. Okay, listen. The admission fee is $4. Join us in Discord in like how long does it take to end this shit?